I know the restlessness that has gripped your heart these past few days. This silent agony, this profound feeling that something in your story urgently needs to change, is not mere chance. It is I, stirring the waters of your spirit, preparing the ground to deliver the direction you have been imploring in hidden tears. Beloved daughter, let me feel your presence in this spiritual encounter. Write here your name, the city, state, and country from which you hear me, and what time it is on your watch now. I want to know where this wounded heart that seeks me comes from. If your soul recognizes my call, pour out your heart in the comments. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Affirm your commitment of faith by subscribing, activating the bell, and leaving your like. I promise you that if you walk with me until the last second of this revelation, I will deliver an absolute answer. A final phrase will be whispered in the depths of your heart, and whoever declares it will receive the prophetic blessings that I have already released in heaven for your life. Do you know that tightness in your chest during the early morning hours, when the worries of tomorrow try to steal your peace and an invisible emptiness seems to overwhelm you? It is precisely there that my spirit begins to speak to you. In the book of 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 12, my word reveals that my presence was not in the strong wind that split the mountains, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in a gentle whisper. I understand that you have been seeking grandiose signs, immediate solutions falling from the sky, but the truth is that I have been whispering in your soul through this gentle intuition that asks you to be calm. I feel the weight of your inner anguish, the knot that tightens your throat when you feel you are fighting alone, and that your strength is reaching its limit. However, there is a vital detail in the way I direct your thoughts that you haven't yet been able to decipher. Before we unravel this, may I ask you something in the depths of your silence today? What is your soul trying to shout to me? If this breath of hope has already calmed your affliction a little, share this message as an act of spiritual love for those who also need shelter, and confirm that this word touched you by leaving your like. Subscribe gently to maintain this connection. Type the word breathe in the comments, because what I'm about to show you will separate once and for all the true voice of heaven from the dark noises that paralyze you. Many times, you confuse the noise of your own fear with my answer. I know the weariness in your eyes after crying in secret. I know how your mind races when you try to anticipate tomorrow, creating scenarios of loss and pain, feeling that the ground will disappear at any moment. Anxiety screams, demands urgency, and pushes your soul toward despair. But the voice of my spirit does not violate your thoughts. It embraces you and stabilizes you. Do you know those times when the world seemed to collapse, the storm raged fiercely around you, and suddenly, without any logical explanation, a profound relief embraced your chest? That was me, calming your inner self. It is written in the letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 7, that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. I give you this word of comfort at this moment, because I see the nights when you try to solve everything with your own strength and end up only with a wounded soul. When my spirit guides you, even if the problem is still before you, a serene certainty takes over your being. It happens that before you fully enjoy this promise, your heart needs to undergo a mysterious unlocking. There is a precise moment when the Holy Spirit demands an act of genuine surrender, so that this invisible peace may transform into the miracle you so long for. It is a secret kept in the depths of your faith, something that will change your story today. Before I show you the next step, tell me, what burden would you abandon in my hands right now if you had the complete certainty that I would take care of everything? Let your soul answer. If this calmness has already begun to touch your spirit, I invite you to subscribe to this space as one who chooses to walk in the light every day. Send this message to someone who also lives imprisoned by anxiety, multiplying my love, and leave your like to seal the peace I give you. Write the word calm in the comments. Pay close attention, because the seed of your deliverance requires prepared soil, and I will teach you how to water it. If the breath of my spirit has brought life to your sleepless nights and calmed the storms of your mind, and if you feel the desire to transform this gratitude into a true seed, I invite you to support the Divine Love, the Voice of God channel. You can consecrate your love through the link I left in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. Do not be bound by values. Give only what joyfully fits in your heart. In my eyes, the smallest seed, when planted in faith, has the power to raise entire forests for the one who receives it. For those who open their hands with sincerity, I ask that you leave your name and city along with this offering. On the first day of next month, in a special prayer video here on the Divine Love, the Voice of God channel, your name will be pronounced and blessed before all. For it is written, "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." This is the truth of Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Every act of faith you place in my work is a seed nurtured by me. No effort goes unnoticed, for I see what you do in secret and will pour out my reward in the sight of all. If contrary winds bring banking difficulties or barriers to sending your support, do not let frustration stifle your pure intention. I see the truth of your soul. Call your card issuer, confirm your act of love, and try again. This support sustains the echo of my voice. If your purpose is sincere, I will personally come to meet you, touching your heart with sweetness and intimate provision. Remain with me until the end of this message, daughter, for the waters of your spirit are only beginning to move, and I still need to reveal your destiny to you. And yet there is a sudden conviction that often invades your heart without warning, a mystery you do not yet master. To move forward, answer me. What silent truth have you been avoiding facing for fear of what I will ask of you? Let your response echo in prayer. Share this seed of light with those who need to hear my guidance, liking it to confirm your faith. Subscribe if you wish to be guided by my currents every day. Type the word synchrony in the comments. There is an inexplicable breeze about to blow, and you will need to be attentive to the signs. Often my guidance doesn't come as a storm, but as a sudden conviction that invades your spirit. I know the weight of silence in your empty house, when doubts surround you and the lump in your throat suffocates your hope. It is precisely in these moments of exhaustion that suddenly an absolute certainty is born deep within your chest, a profound intuition that you shouldn't follow a certain path, or an inexplicable courage to make a decision that previously terrified you entirely. This is not just a human instinct. It is me, stirring the secret waters of your inner self. Remember what was said in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 8, "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes." So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. I bring you this revelation now because I know how many times you have retreated for fear of imagining things. Do not doubt that gentle certainty that blossoms from nothing in your soul and brings you security. It was I who breathed this conviction into your soul to protect you from traps that your pain prevented you from seeing. The truth, however, is that there is a silence of mine that often wounds your heart soon after you receive these certainties, an agonizing hiatus, where it seems that I have distanced myself from your story altogether. Before I reveal to you what happens in the absence of my sound, write the word direction in the comments. Do you feel in your spirit that a loved one also needs this celestial clarity? Then share this message with that person, for love spreads precisely in this way. If my breath has already renewed a little of your faith today, leave your like and accept my subtle invitation to subscribe. Now tell me, in the hiding place of your soul, when was the last time you had the absolute certainty that my invisible hand pulled you away from an abyss? When my silence weighs heavily and you don't know how to take the next step? If your heart desires to dive even deeper into my presence, I have left a safe haven in your hands. I have prepared with immense zeal and tenderness, for all my daughters and sons, a true compass for lost days. The digital book, Devotional Divine Love, the Voice of God. He was created to walk with you day after day, bringing light to your inner self during the loneliest nights. You can find access to this treasure through the link in the description of this meeting and in the pinned comment. It is a gift of pure affection, where the only value required is your love, your faith, and your constant presence. And whenever you feel deep down that you should support the spread of this message, the paths to sow are in those same places. To shield our daily communion from the distractions and noise of the world, I have built 2 protected spiritual homes. one group on WhatsApp and another on Telegram. I call you to enter these two refuges, using the same link so that our bond may never be broken. For it is written, "The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in parched places and strengthen your bones," as taught in the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 11. Even if the storms of this earth try to extinguish this space of divine love, we will remain unwavering, hand in hand, intact and blessed for all eternity. In these groups you will find a warm embrace for your prayers, firm direction for your feet, and messages full of closeness. It will be an environment of pure communion, where cries and blessings intertwine among my beloved. Listen well, you are my most precious inheritance. You are my inexhaustible divine love forever. I love you with infinite depth. Now, take a deep breath, quiet your soul, continue walking with me, and trust in what I will still reveal. But your journey still holds a mystery about my stillness. Tell me, what is your greatest fear when it seems that I have stopped speaking to you? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe so you never lose your way back to my arms. And if this comfort warmed your faith, leave a like. Share this compass with a heart that is also wandering in uncertainty. Type the word refuge, for my apparent absence hides a powerful protection that you need to know now. I feel the cold that invades your chest when you cry out in the dark, and the only thing you receive in return is the echo of your own despair. I know the bitterness of waiting for a way out, while your soul screams asking why I seem distant from your most urgent pleas. The frustration of not having an immediate answer has sucked the last drops of faith from you. You look at your paralyzed life and think that I have forgotten you, that your pain didn't matter enough to warrant my intervention. Yet a revelation awaits to be unlocked in your understanding. My silence is never a sign of abandonment. It is the strongest shield for your protection. You know those endless days when absolutely nothing changes and you feel that everyone moves forward while you are left behind. It is I working behind the scenes of your story, cutting invisible ties and warding off dangers that your human frailty cannot see. Understand what I have sealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. I ask you for this inner stillness today because if I were to deliver your victory to you at this very moment, the weight of the blessing would break the structure that I am still rebuilding within you. My stillness is the forge that strengthens your soul, not a punishment. Share this comfort with someone who cries believing I've turned my back on them, so that this person too may find rest and hope. And, in the secret of your spiritual journey, what was the dream you almost let die simply because I took too long to answer? Write the word "wait" in the comments, declaring to the heavens that your time is in my hands. If your spirit accepts to rest in my sovereignty, gently inscribe yourself in this haven of peace, and leave your like to stamp your trust in my silent work. Listen carefully. Even without shouting aloud, I have left traces of your miracle in the midst of your routine, small details that you have called simple coincidences, but which in truth hold the instructions you have begged to receive. I feel your exhaustion as you try to decipher the mysteries of your tomorrow. Many times on lonely mornings, while the smell of coffee fills the house, a heavy sigh takes over your soul. You ask heaven for a resounding miracle, an undeniable sign that tears through your pain and shows you exactly where to go. Since the great answer hasn't yet descended in apparent glory, you believe you're adrift, losing control of your own story. And yet, deep down, my answers are already crossing your path, disguised in the simplicity of your days. Do you know that word of comfort that sprang from someone unexpected, at the very moment you thought of giving up on everything? Or that door that suddenly locked, hurting your hope, only to save you from an abyss you didn't see? Don't call what my grace orchestrated by chance. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, my word declares, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." I reveal this to you now because you have wept over the paths I have blocked, without realizing that I am, invisibly, simply guiding your steps to the safe harbor I have reserved for you. I am guiding you through silent intuition, through the peace that visits you without reason and through sudden relief. But for all this subtlety to be truly understood, your inner self needs to be free from old chains that stifle the sound of my voice. Before I show you what is obstructing your celestial hearing, Confess to me in your heart, and here in your own words. What was the small sign you recently experienced that you thought was a mere coincidence, but which you now recognize as my direct care? Leave a like if your spiritual eyes have begun to open at this moment. Write the word providence in the comments as your profound confession of faith. If you want to keep your soul attentive to my directions, receive my embrace and gently subscribe, taking the opportunity to share this light with a woman who also stumbles in the darkness of doubt. But your journey still holds a painful secret, for there is a bitter poison rooted in your heart that is preventing my whisper from finally setting you free. I feel the weight that binds your chest every time memories of the past knock on the door of your mind. I see how your soul shrinks, reliving old wounds, silently carrying a dense resentment against those who hurt you and left you behind. The bitter taste of resentment and the burden of your own guilt have created a thick barrier, an invisible wall that stifles the sound of heaven. You have cried out in the dark to hear my direction, but the deafening noise of unforgiveness within you prevents you from hearing my murmurs of love and comfort. Do you know that knot that cuts your breath and quickens your pulse when that person's name crosses your thoughts? Surrender that captivity into my hands now. Forgiving is not justifying the pain and injustice they caused you. Forgiving is emptying the baggage of your soul so that my voice may find space to echo. It is recorded in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verse 25. And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. I give you this firm and loving instruction today, because I know that the poison of bitterness is blocking your spiritual sensitivity, keeping you trapped in a cycle of pain that should have ended long ago. But before this liberation reaches every dark corner of your mind, surrender to me that which hurts you. Type the word cleansing in the comments, prophetically declaring that your inner self is being cleansed of all bitterness and ready to receive my new certainties. Seal your desire for purification by liking this post. And if you wish me to guide your feet cleansed of baggage every day, subscribe with hope. Send this message to someone who also urgently needs to break the chains of a past that will never return. And now, before my love that searches hearts, answer in your intimacy. What forgiveness do you need to release today to finally hear my voice again? As soon as your spiritual ears are unblocked, an exact direction will be whispered into your spirit. And, to take the next step, you will need something that the weariness of the last few years almost ripped from you forever. I know the trembling that dominates your inner self when the confusion dissipates and clarity takes over your spirit. The exact direction you so desperately pleaded for in tears now knocks at the door of your soul, demanding that you take a step towards the unknown. Fear tries to paralyze you again, whispering that you won't be able to, that the path is too arduous, and that your legs won't be able to sustain the walk. You cried out, imploring to hear my voice, but now that it has torn the veil of your silence, an agonizing hesitation chills your chest. Do you know that shiver down your spine that invades you before making a decision that will change everything, making your stomach churn and an invisible weight fall on your shoulders? It's your nature resisting the grandeur of what I have prepared for you. In the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9, my word commands you. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I whisper this truth about your fragility at this moment because I know that the pain of the place where you are is already familiar to you, and the freedom I promise you demands a courage you believe you do not possess. But my Spirit has not only given you the path, He will clothe you with a supernatural strength to break through fear. However, there is something your heart still needs to hear before taking the final step, a last key that will open all locked doors. Reveal to me in the stillness of your being, what is the imaginary abyss that prevents you from blindly obeying what I have already shown you today? If courage has begun to sprout in your heart, leave a like. Share this call to bravery with someone who also recoils from life, and write the word audacity in the comments. Subscribe gently so that my orders of victory continue to reach your daily ears. Prepare your soul, for now has come the moment to deliver to you the absolute key, the answer promised at the beginning of this journey that will seal your faith. I feel the calm that now settles upon your soul, like the dust that settles after a long desert storm. The journey of agony and uncertainty that brought you to this very moment was not a punishment, much less an abandonment by heaven. The wind that lashed you did not come to knock you down, but to silence the deceitful voices of the world, tuning your spiritual hearing to a frequency that only my true children can attune to. Your struggle was never to find the way alone, but to learn to trust in the one who is the way itself. Now that you have allowed my spirit to uproot the confusion, the old resentments, and the shackles of anxiety from your inner self, the terrain of your heart is clean. And for this purified soil, I promised you a revelation at the beginning of our encounter, a living promise, a master key to open the heavens over your story from this day forward. Receive this truth and engrave it on the tablets of your faith. Declare in the comments as your greatest act of surrender and covenant the phrase I whisper within you now: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write it exactly like this, for each word of this declaration is a prophetic seed that will crush your impossibilities. This is my mark upon your life today. The unwavering certainty that no circumstance, no fear, and no hesitation has the power to erase the destiny I have drawn for you with my own hands. Our journey does not end, daughter. There are still profound mysteries and hidden healings that I wish to pour upon your life. In this channel's playlist, my words continue to echo, waiting only for you to take the next step to hear what else I have reserved for your restoration. Listen to my voice whispering gently in your soul. Calm your winds. Receive my constant breath. I am your eternal dwelling place.